So coming off of a chapter in which something happened that I don't think anyone, including myself, would have predicted, which was Mirio shoving his ass in Chigaraki's face to distract him long enough for Deku to arrive, I wanted to make a video on some other predictions and stuff that I could just ramble on about and that I think may actually have good precedent to happen. So without further ado, before I get into this, if you could subscribe, it would really help out the channel a lot, and I dropped out of college today. I'm trying to figure my life out. So anyways, ignore that last part. I'll get into it now. So for prediction number 1, it's actually solely inspired by this really cool artwork that I saw on Twitter, which I'll link the person below. Really great artist, and it's essentially a rematch between Hawks and Dobby, and I feel like Dobby's main fight is going to be with Endeavor like I did the whole video on, but I could see them having another interaction as they kind of have somewhat unfinished business. After Dobby was revealed to have had Hawks' real name, Keigo Takami, I forgot how to say it, something like that, I thought that they'd have more relevance with each other, but they haven't at all since then. Disappointingly, the way that Dobby actually knows Hawks' name is by somehow tracking down his mother and sending people to interrogate her, so I thought that was a little underwhelming. But yeah, last time Hawks got burned, it would be cool if Hawks had to fight Dobby or help Endeavor fight Dobby. We could actually get an Endeavor and Hawks versus Dobby, kind of like we saw a glimpse of in the Pro Hero arc at the end of season 4 of the anime, I believe. But yeah, I think these two just have cool chemistry working off of each other, and I would really like to see them have a rematch. And as for who'd win, probably Hawks, I guess. Now on to prediction number 2. I think this one is actually very likely, and it's that we're gonna see Toga using twice his ability, the Sad Man's Parade, of course, after turning into him, because we see that Dobby somehow retrieved his blood, probably when Hawks killed him, but yeah, he gave that to Toga, and now she has it. As we saw in the My Villain Academia arc, she's able to actually transform into people and use their quirks now, so obviously she'd most likely be able to use the Sad Man's Parade. I believe this is gonna be way too much for Ochako and Suyu to handle on their own, so now going right into prediction 3, I believe Shinso is going to have a big moment where he somehow brainwashes all of these Twice clones or Toga clones, depending on how the Sad Man's Parade works, and that's how they're going to be defeated, and he's going to have a big part. And if that doesn't happen, I believe he'll do some sort of brainwashing somewhere else in the end of this arc, which is obviously the end of the story. I did a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but yeah, I think Shinso is rightfully going to have a big moment. Prediction number 4 is one that I kind of briefly mentioned in the Hawks prediction earlier versus Dobby, and I think it's that Dobby and Endeavor are both going to die in kind of a father-son, really depressing and beautiful in a way moment, which I again spoke about in my other video, so I'm not going to go too into detail, but I just wanted to mention it because I did mention the Shinso prediction, although I did make a video on it, just wanted to be fair to the other predictions. So yeah, moving on to prediction number 5. So prediction number 5 is one that shouldn't be too surprising, and it's that since Bakugou is being revived by Ed Shot and the whole Gene Heart thing is happening, and now Deku's back, the both of them are going to team up and have a cool fight against Shigaraki / All For One. And I don't necessarily know if Bakugou is going to be using One For All somehow like he did in the movie. I think it definitely is possible, and I wouldn't say it's too unlikely, but I think this cool team up is going to happen now that they're both finally in this area, and I think it's going to be quite the spectacle, to say the least. Speaking of spectacle, I'm just going to throw a crazy one out there for prediction number 6, and that is Todoroki uses One For All somehow like Bakugou did in the movie, because his fight with Dobby is now done, and Dobby seemingly is going to fight Endeavor. And with the whole Gene Heart and everything happening and Mirio's ass, I don't know what to expect anymore, so I just want to throw out this crazy theory, and it'd be cool to see spectacle-wise at least. Story-wise, I'm not saying I necessarily would love the idea, but I just want to throw it out there just in case, so I could be the person who said it. Just having some fun with this one. Now moving on to the 7th and final prediction of this video for the ending of My Hero Academia. It is that, drumroll please, Moneta will solo everybody. Okay, no, I'm joking. The actual prediction is that Prime All Might and Prime All For One are gonna fight. Since we now see Prime All For One rewound to his prime, as the name states, I think that Eri may be able to rewind All Might somehow, and he actually has a fight here since he's been kind of irrelevant. Mainly, he had some little stuff with Sane, and we see him every once in a while. But since My Hero Academia seemingly likes going for spectacle and big cliffhangers, I could definitely see this happening. That's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Please comment any predictions you may have. If you agree or disagree with any of these or just like how they sound, please do comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.